It's 11:47 p.m. Your account balance reads 0. The rent cleared this morning. Every dollar you earn is already spoken for before it hits your account. You tell yourself next month will be different, but the structure hasn't changed, and it won't. You are managing cash flow. That is not the same as building wealth, not even close. Most people stay in this trap their entire lives. But there are 7 distinct levels of wealth in America, and your life looks completely different at each one. From $0 all the way up to over $1 million. From paycheck to paycheck to financial freedom. I'm Cody, and today I'm walking you through every single level. Let's start where almost everyone begins, the 0. Level 1. $0 in savings. This is where 56% of Americans live right now. The paycheck arrives on Friday. By Saturday morning, your account is a holding tank. 3 subscriptions you forgot to cancel quietly drain $11 a month each. You tell yourself you'll cancel them tomorrow. You won't. A $400 car repair isn't an inconvenience at this level. It is a full financial crisis. You put the $400 on the credit card. You pay the minimum. The interest charges you $9 next month. At this level, money is not a tool. It is an emotion you carry into every decision. Your coworker just leased a $48,000 SUV on a $55,000 salary. You watch and you say nothing. You are not losing. You are simply not accumulating. The difference is everything. Lifestyle and wealth are not the same thing. The machine that builds wealth hasn't started for you yet. That is the only real problem. Every person who ever built something real started exactly here.
Level 2. The first $1,000. You open a savings account on a Tuesday night. You transfer $50. It feels strange. It feels small. You cut 1 subscription. You transfer 50 more after every paycheck. It doesn't feel like saving. It feels like losing money slowly. But the number keeps growing. 150, then 300. Then one morning, the balance reads 600. You check it twice to be sure. The first $1,000 is not really about the money. It is proof that you can hold capital. The system has a gap in it. You found the gap. $50 at a time. You will hit an emergency before you hit 1,000. It always works that way. For the first time in your life, you have a real choice. The credit card or the savings account. Choose carefully. You are no longer someone who has no savings. That identity shift is worth more than the money. Level 3. $10,000. You open a high-yield savings account at midnight after reading one article. 4.7% interest. 6 months later, your balance reads $4,200. You did not expect that. The interest deposit arrives on the 1st of every month. $16.43 in your account, free. It is $16. It is nothing. You screenshot it anyway. The proof matters more than the amount. Your target is $8,100, 3 times your monthly expenses. A flat tire costs $220. You pay it from your checking. Savings do not move. That buffer changes how you operate at work, in conversations, in every financial decision you make.
You may hit 10,000, lose it to an emergency, and rebuild it twice. That experience gives you something no spreadsheet can. You know you can recover. You start saying no to things you used to charge, not because you can't, but because you decided. You are building something invisible. The account balance can see it. Level 4. $50,000. You have it split across 3 accounts. Emergency fund, Roth IRA, brokerage. The emergency fund is fully funded.
The brokerage holds 3 index funds: total market, international, and bonds. You rebalance once a year. Money stops being an emergency at this level. It becomes a tool, a different relationship entirely. You negotiate your salary for the first time. The cushion means you can afford to walk away. They offer less than you asked for. You stand up, you thank them, you walk out the door. You turn down the overtime shift. Your time has a competing asset now: compounding capital. Your $50,000 generates over $2,300 a year without you touching it. That is income from capital, not from your body. You understand now why wealthy people talk differently about money. At some threshold, money stops needing you. You are not there yet, but you can see it from here. You are not afraid of your bank account anymore. Level 5. $200,000 in invested assets. The number has its own momentum now. Last year, your portfolio returned $14,000. You did not work a single extra hour for it. That is nearly 6 weeks of your salary, produced by capital, not by your body. You stop thinking about saving money. You start thinking about deploying capital. The language has changed.
The Roth IRA is maxed before January 31st. $7,000, automated, non-negotiable. The 401k captures the full employer match. Free money treated with the seriousness it deserves. The brokerage auto-invests $1,200 every month. The portfolio drops $11,000 in 6 weeks. You watch it fall. You do not touch it. The auto-invest runs anyway. $1,200 buys more shares at the bottom. You make calculated exceptions on lifestyle now. Each one costs in future compounding capital. Your savings rate sits at 30%. You track it every month. The discipline becomes a superpower and a quiet loneliness at the same time. Level 6. $750,000. The number has weight now. The math says you do not need to add another dollar. Compound growth carries it from here. You could coast. You don't stop contributing. But knowing you could changes everything about how you show up to work. Financial freedom stops being a fantasy at this level. It becomes a timeline. You have a date. You have modeled this across 17 different spreadsheet scenarios. The 4% rule, the 3.5% rule, sequence of returns risk. These are not concepts anymore. They are tools you use. You research geographic arbitrage. A lower-cost city extends your timeline by 3 full years. Some people find your discipline inspiring. Others find it alienating. Both responses tell you something real. You are not isolated. You are operating on a frequency most people around you have not reached yet. The money is nearly there. 4 years, maybe 6. The auto-invest runs. The Roth is maxed. The match is captured. The machine does not stop for your feelings. Level 7. $1.4 million in invested assets. There is no alarm you did not choose to set. You wake up without an alarm for the first time in 11 years. The ceiling looks different from here. The portfolio generates up to $70,000 a year at a 4 to 5% withdrawal rate. Every expense is funded by capital. Your labor is now entirely optional. That sentence took 12 years to earn. You monitor the portfolio twice a month. You rebalance once a year. The system runs without your urgency. This is not freedom from financial decisions. It is freedom from financial urgency. Those are completely different things. You thought financial freedom would feel triumphant. It does not. It feels quiet, unexpectedly quiet. The drama is gone. What remains is time, and a question you are not ready for. What do you actually want to do with the time? That question is harder than any savings calculation you have ever run.
Freedom turns out to be a design problem, not a money problem. Right now, somewhere in America, someone opens a savings account for the very first time. They transfer $50. They stare at the balance like it might disappear. They check it 3 times. It still reads 50. They think this is about having enough money to stop worrying. They do not know yet what it will actually become. But they will. Every level you just watched starts at the same place, the 0. The only question is whether you start the machine. I'm Cody. If this video helped you see the path, hit subscribe. The next level is waiting, and it begins with $50.